Okay, let's check, see how this one goes. This will be an interesting one if we can make this look a treat. Well, it is actually a food, a recipe sheet. So yeah, it's going to be delicious, hopefully. Well, you can't eat the paper, but if you cook it up, it'll be delicious. It's not a funny noise I can hear, but it's a really hard noise. If you can hear it, it's making that sort of noise, if that's a good way of imitating it to give you an idea. So this machine's always making different noises, which is really shows the lack of quality control, I suspect, that Konica Minolta perform when they put a machine together, which is really fucking stupid. So I've always got to whinge about Konica Minolta. They're just a bunch of dickheads, bunch of wankers. Okay, let's see what we've got for this wanking machine. We got here Aussie Seafood Guide, brought to you by none other than the greedy corporation called Coles. Greedy indeed. But I can't afford to buy from small businesses because they're too expensive. I have to buy from fucking Coles because they're the only ones that seem to have a good price. But they're laying people off in their distribution centres. They're employing automation into some of their, I think, distribution centres, you know, where things get packed and all that sort of shit or whatever. And they're gonna lay off a whole bunch of people. So more job cuts from another greedy corporation known as Coles. And, you know, we don't want everything to be automated, folks. You know, I mean, while I do believe automation has a place, and that looks shit, I don't believe everything should be fucking automated. People need to work. People need the dignity of labour. That's the name, believe it or not, the dignity of labour is the name of a Human League song, incidentally. That's where I got the phrase from, but it's true. There is dignity in labour. And even some people who do menial jobs like cleaning, some of them actually enjoy cleaning, believe it or not. Hard to believe, but true. Some people just love to do jobs that other people hate. So we shouldn't really, it looks like even cleaning or most forms of cleaning shouldn't be replaced with automation. And automation is going to take up a lot of people's jobs, and especially with the greedy CEOs, they're going to love this shit because it's going to mean they can pay. They don't have to pay the machines to do the work. They just buy the machines, and occasionally they may break down. They get them fixed, but basically they're replacing paid workers, so they save money. It's only logic. What you can just see these pigs. You can almost guess what these pigs are going to do next because they're so greedy. And you know that greedy people just want to cut corners and slash jobs. It's just so unfair. It's just so wrong that everything has to be automated now, or it's moving in that direction. And yes, I believe automation does have a place, but it's not a thing that you use just to save money so you can enhance your piggish bottom line. You know, you got to just target the kind of use for automation. You got to target it, not make it so excessive and that it ruins people's lives. And you can't live without a fucking job. You got to have a job, folks. But they're disappearing because these big multinationals, and in this case, I don't know if Coles is a multinational, but I don't think it is. But it's still a greedy fucking corporation, and it must be, this kind of shit must be outlawed. You know, it should be outlawed. Automation is good for dangerous jobs, you know, like certain types of jobs like handling toxic chemicals, where people can get severely injured or made sick. So you use robots to do jobs that are particularly hazardous, but you don't replace everything with robots. We can't. People must work. They love to work. So basically we've got to stop this automation shit happening. And Coles, as I said, I read an article about it, I think it was yesterday, so I just thought I'd talk about this because I'm photocopying a Coles booklet, but it's just not fair that people have to be unemployed. It's so fucking awful. People love to work and they have to work, so these rich people ought to be kicked up the arse. I'm serious. I've got no respect for these rich fuckers. They can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. They can go fuck their own money, but they're fucking up people's lives. So what Coles is doing really concerns me. And I just heard the squeak sounds a bit different. Whatever. So yeah. See, and I wouldn't be surprised if Konica Minolta automated their photocopier factory. I mean, that's just so wrong. But we don't know about Konica Minolta because what goes on in a photocopier factory virtually never makes it out of the photocopier factory. It's all kept hush-hush. The industry is like any electronic industry. It's full of secrets, and you can bet your bottom dollar, pardon the pun, that these people have something to hide, that these rich people that run companies like, we're now going to talk about Konica Minolta, we're just going to divert away from Coles, and Konica Minolta is a multinational money-fucking company, not country, it might as well be a country, it's so big. But basically, they don't manufacture this in Japan anymore. They manufacture the actual photocopier, if I remember correctly, in China. Surprise, surprise not. And the bottom of it, the base, is manufactured in Vietnam. So these are two third world countries. And these poor people in these third world countries are exploited by big multinationals like Konica Minolta. And they get made to do slave labour. But it's better than no job at all. But it's not good enough. It's breaking human rights. It's a human rights issue. So not getting paid enough for your services rendered by these big, ugly, fat, ugly bastards who've got the money. The CEO ought to be ashamed of himself. Fuck him. Fuck Konica Minolta's CEO. Fuck all the managing directors around the world in the different countries where Konica Minolta is represented. They can all fuck themselves to hell. Let them burn in hell, the fuckwits, if hell exists. I don't know if it exists, but I sure hope it does for these characters, because it'd be a really good one-way ticket for these assholes. And don't forget the man from Coles. I forgot his name. I can't remember names straight off, but he's an asshole. So I buy Coles products, dickhead, but I don't want you to fucking automate your fucking distribution warehouses or whatever you were automating. You can go fuck yourself. It's for you. You can go fuck yourself. Stick this up your fucking ass and gyrate, you fucking pig. How dare you? I buy from Coles because you fuckwit are the only cheaper, you and Woolworths. And you fucking you fucking betray people like me and destroy the labour force, and you're putting in fucking machines instead of allowing humans to have some kind of fucking dignity, you bitches. You fucking rich people who are making people unemployed because of your fucking overuse of automation. You can all go fuck yourselves in Australia and around the fucking world, in every country. You can all fuck yourselves, you rich people. Go be ashamed of yourselves. Someone's going to get you. Karma is going to get you. And you're going to bloody regret you even hurt these people. Gotta go.